Forbes, InStyle, Huffington Post. How did I do that? How did I do that? I did that. I was in all those places, plus 40 plus international and national magazines. I was on TV. I did it all with my fashion truck. So in this live stream, I'm going to tell you how you can do that too. Hi, my name's Emily Benson. I am the Forbes and InStyle featured founder of the fashion truck and Stylish and Successful. It's so hard to say that. I am also the author of the Ultimate Boutique Handbook, available on Amazon and through my own website at bit.ly/boutique bundle. Okay, so I'm loving coming on Friday nights. I feel like you guys are here. If you're here and you want to say hi, please do that. Say hi below. Last week I couldn't see your comments, but hopefully this week I can. So give me some hearts. Say hi, what's up? We're going to talk about how I got so much press. If you've gotten press, tell me where you've been in press below. I am finding that so many of the women I work with have gotten some press. Some have gotten none. And so I kind of want to tell you why you should be getting press, how you should be getting press, and how I got in all those places. Hi, Gina. I can see you. Yes, I can see comments. So, okay, so let's just jump right in. Sound good? Sound good. So, the first way I got in all those places is I had no shame in my fashion truck game. Legit. I meet so many women who don't want to talk about themselves. They don't want to talk about a cool business they've started. I don't even care if it's fashion truck or not, or boutique or not. So many women don't want to talk about their business. They don't want to share it with friends and family. They don't want to share it with random people at Starbucks. Guess what? I'm totally fine doing that. The thing is when you have shame or resistance coming up around what you're doing, shame's like a funny word. I don't necessarily want to call it shame because we obviously are proud of what we're doing. But I think that in the US, we've been told don't be boastful, be humble, don't talk about what you're doing. And it's hold up. If you don't talk about what you're doing, who's going to know about it? At one point, I didn't want to talk about my business or myself so much that my boyfriend would literally be like, I'd be like, I just do this. And he'd be like, no, wait, she doesn't tell people this, but she actually was a buyer at a merchant at Abercrombie & Fitch and ran all these stores and did accessory. He would start talking about me because I didn't want to talk about it. And I got to the point where I was you know what? I need to just stop having any fear or resistance or shame come up around talking about myself because I've accomplished a lot and you have too. Starting your business is no small feat. And so I encourage you to talk about your business. It's totally cool, especially if you're one of the first people doing it, especially if you have an interesting concept or you sell interesting stuff or you have an angle on what you sell or how you sell it. There's so much opportunity for you to get press easily. The thing about press is that it's always moving. Reporters, journalists, they always need stories. They always need more, right? So why not give that to them? Why not? In my 6-figure blueprint course, I have a whole section on how to write a press release. I show you actually step-by-step what my press release looked like and then what the adjoining article ended up looking like. So oftentimes I was scrounging for my own press. And that's part of the job. That's part of being a business owner. So I find that so many boutique owners go into it, and we can talk LuLaRoe too, but this is mostly for boutique owners tonight. I feel like the thing about having a boutique that I am finding so many women kind of missing is I feel like so many people they're I love to shop. I love clothes. I'm going to open a boutique. But what they don't realize is that they have to do the accounting. They have to do the marketing. They have to do the PR. They have to do all this other stuff that might not really be in their wheelhouse yet. But you have to just kind of break through and do it. Let me say hi to some people. Hi, Tiffany. Thanks for joining. Hi, Gina again. Hi, Shannon. Hi, Lauren, if you're there still. Hi, guys. So the first thing is, like, have no shame in your business game. Like, get over any resistance that's coming up around talking about your business, around talking about what's going on with you in your world. You've got to kind of get over that hump before you can do anything else. Cool? Cool. Okay. My second tip for how I got in over 40 international publications and was on TV, like that's just magazines and stuff. I had confidence in my business model. So I can't tell you how many people in 2011 looked at me like I had my head cut off when I said, I'm going to open a truck that has clothes in it. Like, it's 2017 now, so it's getting like much more normal, especially as food trucks are getting even bigger and bigger and bigger. But in 2011, when I started, even in 2010, when I came up with the idea and was like telling people about it, I got so many reactions that were like, oh, like, is that going to work? Like, oh, I don't know. Like, I even had people literally come into my store at points and say, so how's this working for you? It's actually working really well. I'm actually like making a lot of money and I'm super happy. So stop with the questions, right? I always had confidence in my business model because why? Well, one is I came from a retail background, and I actually talked about that. I was a guest speaker this morning in a college fashion merchandising class for a Massachusetts college, and I talked about that. I said, one of the biggest things that I have going for me, I've always had going for me, is that I busted my hump for 7 years in corporate retail. So I know the ins and outs of what it takes to have a retail business be successful, right? Hi, girls. Hi. So I have all of that experience and I use that in my business. So I had the confidence to like know that my business model worked, but then I was not too proud to change it when it wasn't working. And that's, again, another thing that I think you have to be open to, no matter what. Again, like a lot of this, like I talk about for boutiques, but a lot of this is just straight up good business advice, honestly. So when I saw that things weren't working, I changed it. You might think I'm perfect. Hopefully you don't. I don't want that. I have made so many mistakes, but that's why I can come on here and tell you like what's up, because I'm like, oh, I messed that up. I screwed that up, And one of the things I definitely messed up a few times in my business model was like, number one was doing parties that didn't work or doing events that weren't working. I cut that out really quickly. I started to understand like what were the events that were going to work, what ones weren't. The other thing was I started out my business, and this is why I'm a super stickler about ideal customer and retail assortment. I started out my business selling little girls' clothes, pillows, candles, like all this home stuff. I sold like mats, like they were great. There were these big things that folded out and you could like have a picnic on them. Why did I buy that? Like, I don't know, I liked it. That's crazy. Have you guys ever bought something for your business that didn't work? Tell me in the comments. I want to know. I want to hear the wackiest things you bought that you were like, why did we do this? Because I've had those moments. I bought one-shoulder dresses. Didn't work. Actually, one of the one-shoulder dresses had a sleeve like this. It was like purple. Those ended up in the crafting bin, right? And so I started my business out like really testing all these things and thinking like, I can be everything to everyone. And that's a whole nother live stream. But when I made that mistake and I realized like pillows weren't selling, kids' clothes weren't selling, these mats like literally didn't sell ever. I think I sold like 2 in 4 years. Yes, fringe leather biker clothing. That's awesome. Yeah. So you learned, you're like, that's not our ideal customer, right? You're like, you might have thought it was super cute and maybe you thought, I think sometimes we think we have the ideal customer for those things too, right? We're like, oh, I totally know like a few people that are going to buy those, or you're just like, oh, that's so cute and I love it. And then you realize like, shoot, we should not have bought that. I should not have bought that, right? I love that, you guys, Janie and Ashley. But, you know, that's the thing is, like, when you learn what you are, like, not doing correctly, you adjust, right? And you don't, like, I think I see so many women who are like, oh, I made all these mistakes. We have to, like, relaunch, or I'm going to close and open it in some other way, or, you know, it's just like, wait, hold on. Like, part of being a really good merchant is adjusting as you go. Like, no one's going to be perfect. You guys, if you can't see this, which on YouTube, when I post this on YouTube, I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to see this, so I'm going to read it. Janie says that the fringe biker outfits that they bought retail for $200, and they were drunk at market when they ordered. Oops. That's awesome. Oh my God. I love that. I love that. And that's the thing. You make mistakes, right? You totally make mistakes. It was a good deal. You couldn't pass it up. Yeah. Tiffany, I didn't see what you bought. Did I miss that? Tell me what you bought again, Tiffany. But I do think it's hard because you, like, when you see a good deal or you see, like, something you think, oh my God, this is totally going to work, you're like, then when it doesn't work, you, like, freak out. But that's the thing is, like, honestly, business is all, I say this all the time, like, business is just tweaking levers. It's just like saying, like, okay, this is working, let's, like, turn the volume up. This isn't working, let's turn the volume down, right? It's just like, constantly adjusting levers. So, that was one of the things, like, why I got a chunky tunic sweater. I mean, that sounds like it would work, but maybe it just wasn't cute. I feel like sometimes things don't sell that you're like, it's totally going to sell. Okay. So what are we even talking about? Okay. I'm getting, like, really excited. Thanks for joining me. If you're here and you haven't said hi yet, say hi. If you want to give me some hearts, give me some hearts. So I didn't question my business model because I formulated it in the right way. And that's how I teach in my book. That's how I teach in my courses. I teach you how to, like, have the baseline business, right? That's what I teach. That's the bulk of what I teach. But then once you've kind of mastered that, then that's where I take you to the next level. And that's what I learned to do is, like, I learned to adjust based on my mistakes and based on my success, right? Like, it's all a balancing game. So that was the second way I got in all this stuff, because I had the confidence in my business, right? I had confidence. I knew it was great. The third way, great book. Thanks, Tiffany. Yeah, totally. Okay, sorry, I'm just reading comments. Okay, I love it, Tiffany. Thanks for joining me. Thanks, everyone who's here. Hi, happy Friday. What are you guys doing tonight? Are you going to go out? I'm going to have some really delicious dinner, and then I'm going to probably lay and watch some Netflix. Whoop. It's been a very long week. I coached, I had 2 group coaching calls this week, one for my membership site, one for Six Figure Blueprint. I had 2 free coaching calls, and I had 5 regular coaching calls. Oh, and I was a guest speaker today in a class. You guys, I gotta adjust some things in this business now. Okay, so lastly, how did I get in all this press? Like, seriously, was it magic? A little bit. But also, I 100% took inspired action. So like I said, I wrote press releases. I would email editors. I'll tell you a story. This is a really good story. So I opened my business in June, and by September, in September, we were having a fashions night out in Boston. It was this cool thing that they did in New York. This amazing duo, Michelle and some guy, Michelle, who's a total badass rock star, brought it to Boston. And so I was like, I'm gonna go do this. Like, I don't know where to park. I'll just figure it out. I'll just drive my truck to Boston and I'll figure it out. Which is, like, basically always my plan is kind of wing it, you know, and see what happens. So I drove my truck to Boston, but on the way, I think like the night before, I had been kind of I had reached out to the fashion editor at the Boston Herald, which is like one of the big 2 newspapers in Boston. There's the Globe and then there's the Herald. And so I had found her name and I emailed her, and I didn't know who she was, but I was like, I'm just going to be nice. I'm going to email her. I'm going to say, hey girl, what's up? But like nicely. And be like, hey, I have this great new business. And since you're into fashion, like I thought maybe you'd like it. I attached some pictures and, you know, it's really fun because I'm like the first one in Boston to do this. And I think it would be a great, you know, I think it would be just great to be able to show you the truck. I said nothing about a story. I didn't pitch her. I literally like, sometimes the pitch works and sometimes it's just like building the relationship to get to the pitch, right? And so I emailed her and I said, listen, I'm actually going to be, so we'd like, I think maybe she had responded like once. She was busy. And I wrote to her the day before I was going to be in Boston for Fashion Night Out. I said, hey, listen, I'm going to be in Boston and I don't, my schedule is really flexible. So I'd love to stop by the Herald offices. Will you be around? And she was like, she wrote back, she's like, oh, actually I will. Yeah, we'd love you to stop by. Like, is 3 o'clock okay? And I was like, yes, of course. Yes. You show up when an editor tells you to show up, okay? So I was like, I'm going to be there at 3. So I showed up. I feel like maybe like I called her or something and she came out. And literally, you guys, I thought she was just going to come out and like look at the truck. Like that was literally my only intention, was to be like, I want this woman to know who I am. I want her to know what I'm doing. And that's it. Because like I just didn't know anyone in fashion in Boston. I like knew all these New York people because I had lived there. But when I moved back to Boston, I like didn't know anyone. I had never lived there as an adult. I didn't know what the hell was going on. And so I was like, I need to like figure it out. So just gonna email people. And so I emailed this woman and she was like, come down. So I went, she comes down. You guys, she brought a photographer. Okay, like, thank God I, like, did my hair and, like, had makeup and stuff. Like, I looked really cute, but thank God I did because, like, I wasn't expecting it at all. And so so she was like, yeah, this is great. She's like, tell me about it. We're, like, talking. And she took all these pictures, and she's like, I don't know what we're gonna, like, you know, we had a good time. She is, like, such a cool person, like, just in general. But she was super cool. I was just myself. Super natural, right? And then I left, and I was like, okay, like, I didn't really like think anything was gonna happen, to be honest. Like, I was like, well, she's cool. That was fun. I got to talk about my truck. I got to like show people, like other women from her office, like came down because they were like, this is so cool. And no one bought anything. It was just literally just like, this is cool. 2 days later, I was living with my parents at the time. 2 days later, I come downstairs for breakfast, and my dad is like, Emily, my buddy just called me, and you're on the second page of the Boston Herald. I was like, no. I was like, that is so cool. Like, I had no idea this was gonna happen. But the point is like, I made it happen. Like, I made it happen. I showed up, and then I let it go. I was like, whatever happens, like, whatever happens. Like, I could have been on page 57 and I would have been happy. But literally, you guys, the Boston Herald is like this. It's an up and down newspaper. It's a portrait. It's a portrait. So literally, here's the front cover, and you open it. That was me. There was a huge picture of me in my truck. It said, Driving a Bargain. Such a cute name. It said, Driving a Bargain. And it talked all about me and had like multiple pictures. I almost died. I was like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing ever. But that's the thing, is like, I just made it happen. And I like, yes, as Danielle says, I manifested that magic. Like, that was like, you can't make this stuff up, okay? Like, it's just so cool. It's so cool when you, like, I definitely practice manifesting. I definitely practice, like, the magical side of business, which I'll continue talking about more. But I have been doing this stuff for so long. I've been like, I want this, and so I'm going to, like, figure out, and I'm not, like, the thing is, you guys, like, and I see this happen a lot. I find that women, I'm going to get a seizure from this light. Okay. Resistance. Perfect timing, Danielle. So here's the thing. I find that so many women get really like caught up, like, oh, I hope they write the article. Oh, like, I just hope they call me back. Like, I'm just going to sit here and wait and twiddle my fingers. And it's like, No. One of the biggest parts about getting what you want, like getting in a newspaper, getting in a magazine, is acting on that desire. So you act, and then you let it go. The hardest part. Hardest part being like, oh, well, whatever happens, happens. Like, so, right. Does anyone have questions? I'm going to throw that out. I'm going to give you a minute or two here to ask a question about how you can get press for your business. Please post it below. I would love to answer a question or two. But let me just review as we're here. So, how did I get the fashion truck in Forbes, InStyle, Lucky, Huffington Post, ABC News, American Airlines Magazine, blah, 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 blah. It was in a lot of publications. Here it is. One, I had no shame in my fashion truck game. I knew what my mission was. I believed in my idea, and I did not feel bad about telling people about it. So if you feel like you don't want to be the face of your business, if you feel like you don't want to talk about your business, please, dear God, hire someone to do that for you. And if you don't, then let's like dig a little deeper into why that is. Like, why don't you want to talk about your business? Why do you feel nervous on going on Facebook Live and doing unboxings or doing, new arrival announcements? Like, let's dig deeper into that, because until you start to show up in your business and speak your truth and live your mission around like, I have this awesome boutique, it rocks, then we need to figure that out, okay? Owning it. Yeah, I own all my crazy, I own it. Because you know what, here's the thing. If you have an idea, you have this idea to start the business, and you start your business, that is something you are meant to be doing. If you haven't listened to my podcast yet, the Boost Your Boutique podcast, it's available on iTunes and Stitcher. There is an episode, which one is it? It's the one called Quick Start Guide to Opening Your Boutique. I think it's episode 5. Episode 5, I talk about how when you want to open a boutique, I truly believe there's like deeper reasoning to that. It's totally creativity. There's a deeper reason to why you want to be a creative business owner. And so if you can accept that and understand that like this is your mission, at least for now, maybe it's not like your whole life's mission, but it's your mission for now, it's your dealio for the next, 3 to 10 years, then like you're going to have a lot easier of a time getting press and spreading the word about your business. So own it, accept it, have no shame in your game, okay? 2 is I did not question my business model. I went for it. I checked competition. I was always checking competition, and I adjusted my plan when I made mistakes, right? When do we get a fashion truck? Janie, you get a fashion truck when you're super consistent in your business and you've got the brick and mortar nailed down, right? Janie, Ashley, we should talk about getting more press for your business. We can talk about that next week. Because you guys should get more press. You guys, if you don't know, Janie and Ashley, they run Pistols and Pearls Boutique in Oklahoma, in Shakota, Oklahoma. Shakota. And they're basically internet sensations when they go on Facebook Live. So if you don't like their page yet, you should 100,000% like their page and watch them, because they are fascinating on video. They have the cutest clothes. They just came out with great pictures. I'm loving it. We always know when you read our comments. Yeah, right? It's like, I own it. I'm like, what? I own it. I'm totally fine with facial expressions, right? And that's the thing. You guys, I'm getting so much feedback from women that are like, you're so real. Like, I love that you don't sugarcoat things. And I'm like, I can't. My face tells the truth. So I am just going to own that. Ashley is on the phone. Yes, girl, get on the phone with the Boston Herald immediately. Ashley, you should be calling people. I feel like that's totally something you'd be good at. What about like Oklahoma City Pride? Like, don't they have papers in Oklahoma City? Why aren't you, or Tulsa? Don't they have TV stations there? Just thinking. Because the third step of getting all this is taking inspired action. So Ashley taking her inspired action and calling up some press people and pitching what they're doing, especially pitching things like Let Love Grow. Great way to get press, okay? When you have something special going on in your business, like a charity event, or maybe you have a new designer, or maybe you're, I don't know, you're just doing something really cool. You're having a party. Great time to call the press. Great time to write a press release. Yes, people read papers online. No, but people read papers, and it's all online. And guess what? All of those newspapers have social media. They get shared. Actually, why are you smart? I'm smart because I don't know. I'm just smart. I just have done this, right? This is the thing. I find that when I work with clients, you guys, like, my clients are so brilliant and they're so into their day-to-day of their business, right? You're like running your business, you're doing it, you're doing the things. And I come in and I'm like floating and I'm like, oh, look, okay, wait, there's opportunity. Oh, there's opportunity. Oh, you should do that. Like, I can totally see the top line that I think, and this is like how I was in my business. It was very hard I didn't come up with the idea of private parties for a fashion truck. That wasn't my idea. That was someone else's. That was like a customer's idea. They were like, do you do parties with this? And I was like, oh my God, that's a really good idea. So part of it too is just like listening, and like, when you hire a coach like me, you get all that stuff. You get like the top level line stuff. Hi, Emily. Hi, Laura. Thanks for joining. So should I end this? Let's see. Any questions? So yeah, I think that taking inspired action, I think getting press is not hard, but it does take a little work. It does take some kind of like getting over your whatever issues you have around getting press. And it definitely takes believing. Like, I believe in miracles. I will 100% say that right now. I believe in miracles. I believe in unexpected things happening, whether it's getting press or whether it's having something great show up in your life that you didn't expect, or having something incredible happen that like right now, Greg and I are doing these exercises. Janie and Ashley did this exercise the other day. And it's an emotional set point exercise, and it's a short meditation, but it's a really great way to bring things into your life and start pre-paving things into your life that you really, really want. And so I'm going to start talking more about this stuff, guys, because I've been testing out all these things on myself. Greg and I we're our own test lab rats over here. We have been testing out all these really cool new things around manifesting and miracles and law of attraction, and I'm ready to share it with more people because it's truly been changing my life, and it's truly, it does work. It does work. And so I'm ready to start sharing that more and more. So you'll see me talking more about this stuff, but I truly believe that running a business, doesn't matter what kind of business it is 80% mindset, miracles, meditation, magic, and like 20% action, right? And so that's the way I've been running my business. And I find that like when you do more meditation, when you do more self-care, when you have more time and space to be creative and chill out and like see the big picture and see where you want to take your business in your life, then it's like kind of overwhelming, but it's actually so amazing and so incredible. And so, I will keep sharing it, Tiffany. Don't worry. I will slowly but surely share it. All of it. All of it. So if you don't believe in magic, then you should leave my page. Because here's the thing is, you got booted. Sorry. You're back. You can watch the replay. So I love that more people are coming on. If you're here, say hi. But I'm going to jump off, I think. It's Friday night. I feel like you need to get dinner. But listen, I want to let you know that the 6-Figure Blueprint is coming out really soon. We're still just like finishing the sale, like we're finishing the page, we're getting everything ready. The expected start date of that course is around April 15th. So we're going to open the doors to that in a few weeks. in about a week. And if you haven't yet joined my group, the Fashion Truck Tribe, I highly suggest you jump in there. I'm going to be doing a challenge next week about how to run your business better. That's not the name of it yet. I haven't meditated on the name yet, so apologies. But basically, we're going to do a 5-day challenge. I'm going to be doing live streams. There's going to be a toolkit workbook. And so it's free. It's totally free. I invite you all to join if you're watching the replay. You'll see information about that, and I'll probably post it in the comments here once we have everything kind of set up and ready to go. But there's a lot of stuff going on in the business right now. So if you need help with your boutique, if you're struggling, if you feel like you can't get to the next level, if you feel like you are not able to stay positive all the time, and I mean, frankly, if you're just having trouble like making sales, then let's talk about this. Hey, Stacy, Better Business Boot Camp. Oh, an idea name, Better. What about like boutique business boot camp? Better business. I love alliteration. Better, but I want it to be more about boutiques, right? Better boutique business boot camp. Best boutique business. I'm going to play with that. I like that idea. Thanks for the idea. I really appreciate you. Hi, Cece. So next week the challenge. Keep your eyes peeled here. I'll probably come on Facebook Live early next week to introduce that, but I'm gonna get off because I have talked a lot today, and I'm getting tired. So self-care time. Thanks for joining me. Boutique Business Boot Camp. Yeah, I like that. That's good, right? Boutique Business Boot Camp. Okay, I think I'm gonna use that. I like that. I'm gonna like sit with it overnight. So thank you so much for joining me. My name is Emily Benson. I am a Forbes and InStyle featured business owner of the Fashion Truck and stylish and successful. Better Boutique with Benson. Oh, fuck yeah. Ooh, can I say that? Yes, that's awesome. I like the Benson. Okay, so now I'm gonna have to go meditate on this. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me and spending your Friday night with me. I love you all. And if you're watching the replay, say hi. Don't forget to say hi. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.